Welcome to Danny Houlihan's Irish Experience podcast. Join Danny on a journey through the historical island of Ireland, its people and the wild Atlantic Way, which is Ireland's last frontier. Experience the music and the culture that makes up the longest coastal driving route in the world. Now, please welcome your host, Danny Houlihan.
Cuireann fáilte go dtí Slán Atlantic Ian. Welcome to the Wild Atlantic Way and Danny Houlihan's Irish Experience Show. A studio ball of Winnown the Shunana Kunde Kiri. Welcome to you all to my series, and for those who have just tuned in, a very warm welcome to my show. In researching our past over the years, I have come across many interesting aspects to our old Irish places and their ancient sites. Even some by accident. I have come across quite a few unique hidden histories, well worth the mention. In this episode, I will talk about one in brief, as historians and indeed academics are still on the bench to their true meaning and connection with the Irish past and its ancient landscape. If you are lucky enough, you might spot a hidden face of our ancestors, which can be concealed within the ruins of old abbeys, churches, or even tombstones. Evidence of a rich Irish culture and our bygone artistic hands. The famous Síle na gig, known as Hags of the Castle, or ancient fertility symbols in our Old Irish language, Sealadh na Giach. The Síle na gig. Buried deep within the Irish landscape and its ancient settlements and ruined castles, often found over the centuries, cut in relief on stone, old images, some alien-like, portraying, or some say, pagan deities to honour past customs and ancient beliefs. Some have been attributed to the early Christian period, and some say the old Irish cool days. The Síle na gig, or Sealadh na Giach, or from its Irish translation, the dropping of the breast, has been attributed by many historians alike as a pagan fertility symbol, which is related to our old customs of fertility and the land. The touching or rubbing of the deity facilitated childbirth, it has been rated by historians, while others debate that this ancient symbol was connected with the cycle of the land and her feminine nature, Anu, goddess of the earth. In modern times, there is an acceptance that these cut stone symbols were used not just to facilitate childbirth, but connections with old customs of Mother Earth and what the land brought forth in its feminine being, as I stated, its crops, which were elevated, and the birth of new crops and the dawn of new crops on the landscape of ancient Éireann. The Síle na gig can be found in many countries, such as England. For us in North Kerry, not far away from our research centre, on the grassy banks of the Shannon River, we have a number of these Síle na gigs. These priceless relics, cut in relief on stone, which were connected with our old settlements. The first one we will visit is at the old ecclesiastical centre of Ratoo, near Ballyduff, Tralee, North Kerry. Around that ancient building and monastic site, there were many settlements of people and communities which levitated towards the old site. The use of the Síle na gig has been lost in time in Ballyduff, but it had a purpose, connecting with the land of Ratoo and its people and its old practices. It should be noted that the area surrounding Ratoo was once wooded, and the cultivation of the land was practiced. There was an old Druid site, and the old cool days were in the area, in areas such as Derrico or Donaghmacua or Dysart or Dysarty Treelig. just to draw your attention. So refer back to my podcast on Ratu and Derrico and Dysart to find out more on the backgrounds of these sites. Why place these crude figures, some say vulgar, into buildings such as round towers or old abbeys and medieval churches? Were they left for safekeeping? We shall never know. However, the old Sheila na gigs had a significance, well worth investigating as local historians and antiquarians. The Sheila na gig, located in the famous Ratu Round Tower in Ballyduff, North Kerry, is an unusual one. The image, caught in relief on 2 limestone blocks, stands out to this day. Everyone, it is very worn now due to weather, but is clearly visible when the sun moves during the day, lighting the top upper windows of the famous Ballyduff Round Tower. It is located, carved on 2 stones, on the north window which faces into the Ratu Round Tower. Its head and shoulders are set on an overhead lintel and rests on an upright below it. It measures around 30 centimetres. Its knees are splayed and its hands look as if it is touching its lower parts. Its legs are bent inwards and touching. One can best describe the Ratu Sheila na gig as alien-like, with big square ears, an unusual-looking creature. So to see this image of the plaster cast, please check out my Facebook page and my Instagram site, as I will upload a small short video just to show you. I know on a podcast I can't show pictures, maybe in YouTube, but we're not YouTubing this one. So I will place this on my Facebook page and my Instagram site so you'll see it. When I saw it myself for the first time many years ago, when the tower was being repaired, I thought, why was it located so high up, so no one would see it? Possibly only the monks of the tower. Another thought was the Sheila na gig brought up there from another older building for safety? Maybe from an old cool day site around the area, such as Derrico or indeed Dysart, only a few miles apart, both of which I've covered, as I've said, in my podcast series. So check them out, as I said. Now the sun rises in the east and penetrates the window and lights up the area where the Sheila na gig is located. Was this used to highlight its location? Possibly. Was this for a reason now lost in time? Maybe. Or some have stated, was it used for some ancient meditation purposes, as we have yoga today? Again, it's only speculation. It's hidden through the mists of time. Not many people, as I've stated, can get into the area, so only a few would have access to it, or even, indeed, have seen it over their lifetimes. The area of the site had an elevated road called Bohergaron Bon or White Horse Ridge or Monk's Road, which ran through the bogs to the hermitage of Dysart Treelig. Was this brought into the building for safekeeping when the tower was being built? We shall never know.
Sword clashed with sword as the sun set. A great battle was won. The mighty Talc lay dead, and Finn McCool's mighty Fianna were defeated. The women wept. The scribe wrote, Anu, goddess of the earth, wept for her lost kingdom.
Moving on to another Sheila na gig I came across during my research for my podcast on the Abbey in Abbeydorney, this image is again cut on stone and is placed over the access to a tomb. The image has a figure posing, waving its hand in the air, while the other is located over its lower parts, worn due to people touching the genital parts of this cut stone figure. The image, which has been described as a Sheelin-the-Gig by historians, more than likely was taken from the nearby Abbey of Abbeydorney, or an old settlement, like Ratu. The old settlement of the Ithorna was located in that area of the Kiri Lucra, on an old previous site. When I saw this image, the cut stone had just been recently sandblasted, so the image is now very clear and well worth a visit to Abbeydorney and the Old Abbey on the Wild Atlantic Way when you visit Ireland. Moving along again, not mentioned in many historical books, there is another image on the east gable of the church in Kilnocton, near Tarbert. It's a head with an unusual expression. One might not have spotted this, as over the years Ivy had covered its location. Even the eminent scholar John O'Donovan does not mention it when he visited the site in the 1800s. Did the image, cut on stone, come from another earlier structure? We do not know. However, again, like Ratu, Derrico and Dysart, there were older settlements within the area of the church. The fact that these ancient symbols were and are located within the areas of old settlements, and indeed old church sites, gives the Sheelin-the-Gig an importance within our old Irish customs and traditions now long gone and lost to time. The fact that these figures were placed within our old structures in out-of-reach places meant they were regarded as an important part of a local settlement and past lifeways. Whether they were used as a pagan fertility symbol for the people to facilitate childbirth, or as a deity, or a fertility symbol of the land when crops were being planted, the Sheelin-the-Gig even still to this day holds its ancient secrets and will always be a source of debate among historians and local people alike. I leave the old images of the past once more, but I will return again on another journey, out along the landscape of North Kerry, so for my research centre on the banks of the Shannon, I say goodbye for now. Slán. But before I leave, please check out my Facebook page, Danny Houlihan's Facebook page, also my Instagram site, and I will be putting up a few visuals as the years go on of where I've been and what I've seen. If you would like to support my research, which is ongoing, and podcast episodes, why not buy me a coffee? This will be used to update my research and equipment. I will give everyone who contributes a shout out in my series. Just click on the link below to support me in any way, big or small. Thank you. That's buymeacoffee.com/YXQ Danny. So for the moment, Slán.
Thanks for listening to our show. Through its people, its heritage, and its rugged coastline, this is truly Danny Houlihan's Irish experience. Bye for now.